Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Misty Washington, and I am the new program manager for RARE for the 2015-2016 school year.
Tell me about RARE. What is RARE?
RARE is an after-school program that really targets the goal orientation of children who are in middle school, primarily between the ages of 12 to 14, grades 6 to 8. The program is set up so that these kids, when they reach high school, they're going to be less likely to drop out, and when they get into the workforce, they're going to be able to be competitive. One of the advantages of the program is that we work with some online tutoring
With math and
with the math.
Last night we had a chance to talk. We were here with Mrs. Lewis and Mrs. Fuller. Tell me about last night. What happened and how you fell in love with the program? How did it make you feel?
Obviously, anything that we can do for the community is great. My personal mantra is if you're not a part of the solution, then you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
So it was good to be here. We have a quality program. It's one of those things that's not hard to sell because we feel, really good about it.
No, I mean you were last night. You were just talking about being from Alexandria and being proud to work with the community. Is that where your passion is?
It is. I think more so than anything, having worked in human services for more than 13 years, I work primarily with adults and head of households. And what we see happening is that there are intergenerational cycles of poverty because adults are just not adequately prepared to enter the workforce.
How did you get involved in the program? Did you apply for the job? Did you meet somebody at church? Or how'd you do that?
It really was a community effort.
Okay.
There were a few community stakeholders that I knew, and but primarily many conversations with the executive director, and realizing that we very much were on the same page about the limited resources that are going to be available to children if they don't finish high school.
Let's drill down then on what you're going to do as a program director.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the days of the program and what you're going to focus on.
The three main components that we're going to focus on in the program is that we definitely want to help the kids improve their math scores,
Okay.
Related to the SOL scores. So in terms of outcome measures, that's going to be one of the primary focuses for the program. We also want to ensure that kids have very strong analytical and critical skills, critical thinking skills.
Okay.
So we're going to have a language arts component. And in addition, because we know many of our children aren't learning what they're supposed to learn because they may have challenges such as ADHD
Okay.
that are preventing them from being able to sit in their seat, we want to help them with psychosocial development
What
skills.
about field trips? Is that part of the curriculum too?
Absolutely. Again, we're looking at goal orientation and what it's going to take for them to be successful and competitive in the workforce. So again, our focus is going to largely be, are they going to be prepared in terms of technology?
Right.
So we definitely want to bridge the digital divide. So we have any number of field trips that are designed to
Microsoft, those kind of folks?
Absolutely.
Are they on board to support the program?
Absolutely.
So is there a field trip to Microsoft?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, you mentioned personally about entrepreneurship and financial management and mentoring.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on that?
Currently, we plan to have a 4-week financial mentoring program. Again, it goes back to the larger goal of goal orientation. In terms of the kids being motivated to succeed, they need to know what they're going to be up against when they're out in the real world. And we think helping them learn those lessons earlier are definitely going to be.
Let me take you back to your high school days and when you were around town. Had you had a program like RARE, would that have made a difference in your life?
I think definitely. There were things in school that I definitely excelled at in terms of cognitively, but there were other things that I struggled with in terms of, for example, attention deficit. And there really wasn't, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Right.
So there are any number of kids who may not be your highest achievers and may not be your lowest achievers, but there may be barriers that people aren't seeing because they don't have the one-on-one contact that we're going to have in the program with the kids.
I'm really mindful of your time. I know you've got a class coming tonight, but I want to give you an opportunity to take about 30 seconds and make a pitch to the community. I want you to think about what you're going to say and say, look, I'm Misty Washington, and I need the community needs to step in and help us do that. So I'm going to give you 35 seconds to give your best pitch. Go
Okay.
for it. Go ahead.
I would say to parents that what they really need to know about this program is that we, again, are preparing these kids for the workforce. Working in social services, I'm all too aware, term limits have definitely increased in the times that you can use resources.
Right.
The resources, again, are very scant. You have people leaving Health and Human Services because their tax given resources and they're not there. So parents need to understand that when their children get to become adults, there aren't going to be those resources. They have to do well in school. They have to be prepared for the workforce. And our program is specific to that, and we're not waiting until they're in 11th grade and preparing for college that they're not going to get into
You got 2
because they
seconds
waited
left.
so
You
late.
got 2
But
seconds
we're
left.
preparing them at a very early age for goal orientation and to be very well advised for high school.
Misty, we talked last night, and I was so impressed with your passion and your purpose. And I'm excited to be part of what you're doing and work with you. So going back to what we agreed to last night, let's go ahead and do this thing with the board. And on behalf of the board, let me welcome you to CCNA.
Thank you.
We'll turn the